Feng Shui. It's the art and science of living in harmony with your environment. So it's all about balancing the 5 elements. We have fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. And most people lack 1 or 2 elements in their environment. So when I come into the space, I'm looking for those different elements to balance it. Energy is important because that's what gives us our life force. And if we don't have high energy, conscious energy, then we're in a very low vibration, and then we feel sad, we feel in fear. But with good feng shui, we feel energized, we feel lucky, we feel very loved and happy. So I first have my clients fill out a 2-page intake form so I can really see where they are on a scale 0 to 10 in all aspects of their life. Because every aspect is a different element. And so I even know what elements are speaking before I come to the home. And then I walk through the home and I see what's going on energetically, and I give recommendations of what they already have, and then they might need to buy a few more things as well, but just to bring more balance and to remove any blockages that could be stopping them from achieving their goals. So the Bagua is an energetic blueprint that we use when we come to a person's home. We put it over the property, over the home, and in each room, because then we know where the love energy lives, and the money energy lives, and the health energy lives, all the different energies, so we know how to address those different issues and what they're wanting. So the optimal layout is when you have all 5 elements, because if you're lacking an element, then it weakens that energy field that we're wanting to lift for higher consciousness. And when we balance it out, then there's harmony in the life. Well, the reason why I do feng shui is because it really balances us out. And if we're feeling really good, then we're actually really feeling God.
Hi and welcome. Thanks for joining us today. As we begin a new year of 2019, we're going to talk all about energy today. And our special guest is SandiSue Rector. SandiSue, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
This is going to be so much fun. So what you guys need to know is that feature video, that was SandiSue coming in and helping us get our set all in place, because we've got a new set. We've got a new team member.
Hello.
Gail, welcome to the show.
I am so happy to be here on camera with Dave for this season. We're going to have a ton of fun. I'm so excited. And I got to tell you, SandiSue had me running all over this, all over the stores last night. Tempe, Phoenix, until we found the perfect set. And so I'm so excited to talk about that today.
So one of the important things that I learned yesterday was that 2019 is the year of the pig, and that's the year of fun. So this whole thing is starting off with fun, with the set, with you being on here talking about feng shui. Please tell us more.
Well, one, I put the fun in feng shui.
Love it.
Because if you're not having fun in your life, what's the point, right?
I love it.
So I'm very excited to be sharing feng shui because feng shui affects 1/3 of our life. 1/3 is huge. We have a third for heaven luck, and then we have earth luck, and then we have the feng shui luck. So feng shui helps with both of the other heaven and earth. Very important.
Cool. So there's a thing about energy that I'm really interested in. Gail and I very keyed into the energy and the space, and so that is what feng shui is about, is figuring out what the best energy is, what you fit most into. And you talk about the elements, and then you said each person has an element they resonate with. Kind of give some presence to that whole thing.
Yes, your personal element is so important because if you're not wearing the right colors and shapes for your element, you'll feel depleted. So for instance, I'm Mountain Earth, and the Mountain Earth is all about knowledge and wisdom, which is perfect for feng shui.
Yeah.
But I need the fire element, and I also need the shape of a triangle.
Oh.
So the shape will give the fire element to help give me energy. And then for instance, you are the soft wood.
Soft wood, yep.
So the water element helps you, so wearing the blues and the blacks is the water element to feed your energy.
Nice.
You told me I'm water.
Your water element, correct. So the metal colors is what you're wearing, which is the silver and the white, and then black is the water element that's helping you as well.
Now what about shape?
Shape is circular for you to give you energy, and then any type of wavy type of shape is best for you.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wavy shape, huh?
Yeah.
So what are examples of wavy shapes?
Oh, anything that doesn't have any angles to it. That's the most
Okay.
important. No, no straight lines, no angles.
That's good because I cannot color within the lines. I just can't do it. So what's really fun about the feng shui and all of the things about the directions, and there's so many things we didn't know about. For instance, we live in a house in Tempe. It's not a permanent home. We're renting it. And you said, oh, good, I'm glad you're renting it. And we went, well, how come you're glad? And you said, because the stairway is facing the door and your energy is going out. It's on a corner and energy's... Tell us more about that.
Exactly. So Feng means wind, which is invisible energy, and Shui means water. So we can't see the Feng in our environment, but you can see water. So if you can imagine water coming down your stairs right to your front door, what's happening? The energy is going out. And in Feng Shui, we're containing the energy instead of allowing it to deplete ourselves. So it's very important to never have stairs going towards the front door.
So if you live in a house and you're in some place where it's a permanent house and you have stairways out to the door, what are some things that you have to be considering? Yeah,
you definitely need to have a Feng Shui consultation because there's so many different elements going on. But one thing you can do is hang like a chandelier above the stairway so it helps to lift the energy. That's one thing to definitely help with that.
So the energy would then be lifted up, and so that's like a remedy if you live in a property that's like that.
Exactly. But you really need to have a lot of different remedies because stairs are really depleting energy. So your home is either energizing you or depleting you. And then I never recommend getting a home with stairs. Or on the corner either, because if you live in a corner lot, whatever traffic is going by, it's always pulling the energy away from you. The one thing I do love about your guys' property though, is you have two big trees right next to the street. So that's giving you some protection. So I'm very happy about that.
So if you are on a corner lot, some natural barriers, trees and shrubbery.
Yes.
All right.
And then even in the front yard, how you guys have that half wall going up there, that's actually good feng shui because every time the cars are coming by, especially when they're turning on your street, it's always hitting your energy field of the home. So that's your helpful people travel area and that could be affected. But by having either boulders there or having that half wall that you guys have there makes a huge difference.
And we could dig a moat and put alligators in there to keep the bad energy away.
So it's interesting. So do architects and home designers actually consult with you?
Yes, definitely. Because they know from the very beginning if it's not facing the right direction. So for instance, Disneyland in China, they had a feng shui consultation, obviously, and it was the front gate actually was 4 degrees off. So they had to redo it in order for the prosperity to flow.
Oh my.
So we have 4 power directions and we have 4 depleting directions. So depending on how your business is facing or your home, it's going to affect you either way.
Interesting.
And I've seen it hundreds of times with my clients. So I had a client, for instance, that owned a business up in Cave Creek, and we know how far that is from the 101. And she was actually very successful for over 20 years in her business. As soon as she moved right next to the 101 and she faced her depleting direction, but she didn't know it at the time, her business went down. So she had the traffic, you know, all the people were there, but since it's going in the wrong direction, it definitely affected her. And most people will notice that with their life. Says, well, in this house, we felt really good. I had good relationships. I made good money. But then in this home, I was sick. I lost my spouse. You know, I lost my money. So it's very important.
Interesting.
So there's life events that happen that are directly tied to the energy, tied to the feng shui. Wow. Because I imagine there's somebody watching this right now going, oh, I feel this way.
Yes.
Give me some practical things that we can do. You know, we have to have resources. We have to have more information to allow transformation.
Yes, exactly. So you definitely need to start balancing the elements in your environment to build up the energy for you until you're able to sell your home or move to another location.
So, but what was interesting is like, I thought I was like bringing in all the elements. I'm like, okay, here's some black, here's some blue, here's some green, some wood. But then the way I had them arranged didn't flow.
Right.
So I still had to change it up.
Yes. And the reason is because we decorate and we buy homes and businesses based on our unconscious mind most of the time, and it's patterns that we received from our family or when we were younger.
Okay.
It's not the highest and best good for us.
Yeah.
So that's why it's always good to have somebody with feng shui eyes to come in and to really see what's going on energetically.
Yep.
Okay.
That is that limiting belief, that cultural narrative you've been given, whatever that storyline is.
Yes.
You are given that with energy as well.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
And it's over 5,000 years old.
Yeah.
And it's very powerful. So we need to listen to that.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit of history on feng shui.
Okay. So it's over 5,000 years old before the written word for sure. And I mentioned that feng means wind, which is the invisible energy that's all around us. And then shui is water that we can actually see. So by balancing those 5 elements, that's what brings that balance into our lives. We have over 8 different schools of feng shui. So a lot of times people will read different feng shui books and they're confused what's going on. They don't know what to do because one book says one thing, one book says the other thing. So it's really good to have somebody that can help you through the process.
Oh, so there's different mindsets, different schools of thought on it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And everyone's affected differently because it depends on what your animal is, what your element is, what's going on with your floor plan, the lot location that you purchased.
Yeah.
When feng shui first started, people were really looking at properties to have a mountain behind them and to have a river in front of them. Because a mountain is all about support. And of course, our life force, we're getting water, is what we need in order to live. And it's very important to have the right location.
And you would know you're a real estate expert too. So that helps. And now you had this really interesting story about how you got into this whole thing. And I would love for you to share that.
Oh, great. Well, back in 1998, I was a massage therapist and I had a day spa with 10 massage therapists working for me. And business was really slow. I hadn't paid myself for over 2 years because I was just really educating the valley of what the benefits of massage and then taking care of my employees, obviously. And then one day, one of my clients became a feng shui consultant and she's like, oh, SandiSue, if you bring in some plants here and some water here and the color red here, business will improve. So I did it. And within a month, my business doubled. I didn't even know what the word feng shui meant back in 1998.
Wow.
But I was willing to do anything because not paying myself obviously was depleting my energy. And business just kept growing. And so I ended up selling my business to one of my employees and she still is working with it today. And then I was sharing information with all my clients and about feng shui, and then they would go home and do it, and then they would see different, positive things happening. So I ended up getting certified in it, even though I know I've done it in past lives. I didn't know it at the time, but when we looked for our very first home over 28 years ago, I went to over 50 homes and I'd walk into a home. Of course, this was before feng shui, and I could just feel something was off.
Yeah, you could feel that.
Exactly. And it wasn't until I found my home, which was right up against the mountain, which they would do 5,000 years ago for that support, that I felt at home. And the floor plan was perfect as well for feng shui. So we never want bathrooms to be in the money area or the love area or the health area because it will drain our energy. Bathrooms are very depleting on us.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there are so many things just about the property itself.
Exactly.
So how many homes do you find actually really lay out well?
Most of them do not because bathrooms. We really like bathrooms to be out of the house, but of course we want the bathrums inside.
Yeah, the outhouse, that was about 150 years ago. So we get to go indoors now.
Yeah, we did that in Costa Rica.
We did. We had to walk outside.
We had to walk outside to go to the bathroom.
And that was good feng shui.
Now we know.
That's right.
So layout is so important. And then even like the north, south, east, west directions.
Yes. And that's one reason why I decided to get into real estate with my husband, because he graduated from ASU in real estate. And for years he kept saying, SandiSue, get into feng shui. Get into real estate, get into real estate. I was like, no. But then whenever I got certified in feng shui for real estate, and my husband agreed with me that he would help me with my clients so that they'd make sure that it faced the right direction, their homes, and the floor plans were going to be good for them. Then I decided to get into real estate so I can empower my clients, because I'm all about empowering my clients.
That's really good.
Because you're helping people really feel comfortable with their home.
Yes.
I could imagine that's big.
Yeah.
When
definitely.
you're in that flow and in
Yeah.
that energy, you can really feel it. And then you have your own sense of personal power.
Exactly.
And you have your own strength.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, even us doing the set here, Gail,
Yes.
when we changed the chairs, how did that feel to you?
I did. So what she was referring to is that we had our chairs over on the side where SandiSue was at and our guest over there. And she's like, those aren't your power directions. And so we were like, we didn't think we could do it, but we all put our heads together and we flipped sides. And as soon as I started sitting in this direction, I felt a difference.
Yes, definitely.
I really did. It felt much more powerful. I felt like I was sitting in the right spot. And it's like I feel like I can flow.
Yes, because now that positive energy for you is coming right at your chakras. Instead of you deflecting them, going in the wrong direction. And when I was learning this feng shui from my master, and I was told to go southwest because that's my power direction for money, I moved my desk just a few degrees, and that's when I started getting more phone calls and more texts and more emails for business.
Wow.
We really need to talk to her about some more stuff.
Without advertising.
We need a feng shui makeover. Is what
We do.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Right?
So what I find fascinating about this whole conversation is energy, consciousness, feeling good. Recently, I had an experience where I was in an ayahuasca ceremony and in a deep state of meditation, and I literally heard this spiritual universal consciousness say, the highest form of worship is to enjoy yourself while you're here.
Yes.
Because you are an individual expression of the divine, having a divine experience as a human being, having your human experience.
Yes.
And I went, what? I need some more explanation. The better you feel good and enjoy yourself, the more you're honoring the reason you came here. It's really important for us to enjoy ourselves. And what you said is the better, how'd you say that the better you feel, if you feel good, you'll feel God. That's how you said it.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that's why it's so important to really go through your home and look at every single item and pick it up and ask yourself, how does this make me feel? If it makes you feel good, then you can keep it. If it feels like an 8, 9, or 10, definitely keep it. But if it's below an 8, get rid of it. And so many people keep things that they've been given, they feel
Family
obligated,
heirloom,
and they need to keep it, but they don't like it. So every time we see it, what it does is it lowers our energy field. Yeah. So we want to get rid of those things. So go through every single room in your home and make sure that you love everything. And when you do, it lifts your energy field. And it lifts the energy field of the environment as well.
So now that's an interesting, because when you have a couple, then you're really, oh boy, I can see, no, I like that. No, I don't like that. How do you deal with that?
Well, that's where the yin and yang comes in,
Okay.
right? And then, of course, in relationships, it's all about, compromising and being compassionate. So sometimes we need to overlook a few things, but really to talk about, how is it really making me feel? And if you know it's going to make your spouse feel really good, then you just accept it. Because there's things that you really love that spouse doesn't like either. So it's just all a balance. Everything comes back to yin and yang for sure.
Yeah. And we were even doing that with the set. We were going back and forth. How do you feel? Did you feel that? Or is it an 8? Because we had one picture up that we just couldn't vibe with. It was definitely below an 8. And I tried and tried. So I just said, Dave, you work on video stuff. I'm heading back to the store. And I just was like, okay, guides and angels, I really need your help on this one.
Yes.
And it was awesome because I found the picture behind us. I found the sconces where we couldn't find sconces before. And Dave and I looked all over the store. They were totally in one little tiny remote area. And it was just like, once I found the flow of, you said, look for trees. I found trees.
Yes.
found trees. It was like, it all started to flow. And I felt that, okay, I like this. This is like definitely above an 8. And I was really excited when I got back and we put it up. And Dave felt that same thing. So it just started to really lift the energy for the set and for the show and just the whole attitude of where everything was going for the season.
And it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because you feel good.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
And we had some creative ideas. We're like, okay, we're going to have 2 chairs. We're going to have a 3rd chair for a guest. That's going to be a weird symmetry. We'll make it work. We'll just do some things that are a little bit different. We'll go with some lighter tones. So we had some ideas of balance and shape. We had some of the greenery with sharp, pokey, pointy stuff.
Yes.
And you said, yeah, no, you want soft, rounded stuff because then you'll have jagged edges and that might be sharp conversation. And we were like, we had no idea.
Yes, because that's considered Chi. So anything that's pointy, like furniture and walls and plants, anything that has like a laser beam coming at you and it's cutting into your energy field. So we like things to flow, to meander.
Okay.
So there's a lot of ease and flow.
Ease and flow, and that's what we're looking for, right?
That's been a theme of Gail's, especially in this 2019 season, of just ease and flow. Let's go in with things that we're enjoying, things that are ease and flow. And it's so much better of a narrative than like, just, get through and then the stress and tension, you just let it go and it's ease and flow.
Yep, and you have harmony and happiness.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, one thing about consciousness is we're all tapped into that universal consciousness.
Yes.
And so some of us feel like I'm always at unrest in my relationship, in my faith, or in my politics, or my job, or whatever those things are. They just feel, It could be simply the clothing you're wearing, the color scheme. It could be the type of work you're doing, the direction you're facing. Tell us more about all of that stuff. And the Bagua?
The Bagua,
Tell us how that works.
So the Bagua is an energetic blueprint that we use and we put over the home, over the property in each space so that we know where all the energies are living and the elements. So we come from nature, and if we don't have all 5 elements that are the nature, then we feel out of balance and out of harmony. So we want to make sure that we are using those elements correctly. Now, if we have a desk facing the wall, like earlier you said your desk was facing this way, then what happens is we feel like we're up against the wall in life. Where now that you'd moved that over, how many days ago did you move that over?
Just a couple days ago when we started redoing the set.
Yes. So what happens is with my clients, as soon as they set an appointment with me, the energy already starts to shift before I get there. So energetically, my angels were over here, Feng Shui angels were helping you. But now you can see everything. So you're in the command position. And so your attitude, your energy is completely different than being up against the wall. So it's very important. And then for your elements that you were talking about earlier that you had asked me is, for instance, since I'm earth, if I wore the wrong colors, which would be the water colors, what happens when you get water and dirt together?
Mud.
And that's stuck energy. So you'll never see me wearing a lot of black and a lot of blue. Now, I might be wearing a little black, but I only do that when I have a lot of fire, because then the fire is evaporating the water, but then it's still feeding and creating that earth element for me to help energize me. So it's very important. I had one client that she had 3 children and she was tired all the time. And I went over to her home. She did have a lot going on in the home, but the main thing really for her was that she was the earth element just like me, and all she did was wear black because it makes you look skinny. But she was depleted, her energy all the time. So I asked her to change some things up. She did. 2 weeks later, I followed up with her, and she has her energy back. Because she got rid of 90% of her black clothes.
Wow.
I started wearing the reds, the golds, things like that.
Wow.
I feel a shopping excursion coming
Yay!
Any excuse, right?
Thank you, SandiSue.
You're welcome. But you know what happens is because you're in the Feng Shui energy is you're going to find a lot of things on sale. I hear that all the time from my clients.
I like that.
Yep, because the luck is already improving.
And there's a lot about synchronicity there. And you use the word luck. And I would maybe akin that to synchronicities that just occur when you're in that flow of consciousness. Things you're like in the right stream.
Exactly.
And when you're out of the flow, things are like hard, and you feel like you're stuck. But when you're in that flow, things are easy. Talk about
exactly.
that.
Yeah. So the more you Feng Shui, the more you're lifting your vibration up. And you're building the energy, so you become a magnet and you start attracting everything you want. I'll just think of something and boom, it'll happen now. Because I've been doing it a long time. So the longer you do it, the higher the energy and the conscious that you're in, for
Yeah.
sure. And I've noticed a huge difference in my consciousness by doing feng shui the last several years, is that things come to me. I'm so more intuitive than I've ever been before.
Yep.
It's just amazing.
Yep.
Now, Sandy, so there's something else when we were looking at the set. I had some bamboo on the set that we had from last year, and I had incorporated it in. And you had said that you don't want anything that was once alive and is now dead.
Yes.
In your space.
Yes.
Which I'm going to have to go through my house and get rid of a few more things. But explain that some more to me.
Okay, so every single thing is energy. So when the energy is coming through the home and it's touching other energies, then it brings it throughout the home. So anything that was once alive and now is dead energy. So if you have it in your money area, then your money is not making, it's not making what you want off of it. It's just kind of dead. It's kind of still. Same with the relationship. If you have dead things in your relationship area of your home or a room, the relationship could feel dead. So we want to release everything that is not living or that was once alive and now dead.
Talk about people that have rose petals that are dried in their room.
Yes, me, for instance.
That's what I want.
So since I was working 80 to 100 hours a week when I had my business for massage therapy, I had no time for my relationship. So I did have my feng shui consultant come to the home to feng shui it. And sure enough, as soon as we got into our relationship area of our home, I had 8 dozen roses dead, hanging upside down, because every day my husband had sent me roses. And I wanted to keep those because it wasn't every day that he sent me roses. But roses mean love with pain. And it was dead energy. And we were going through a lot of pain at the time because we had no quality time. And we loved spending time together. But I just was working all the time and had no time for that. So I got rid of those immediately.
Wow.
So one of my clients, she had potpourri in her children area of her home, and her daughter was not wanting to connect with her at all. And she was really upset because her and her daughter were really close before she moved out. And I told her to move that. Within an hour of her moving that, her daughter called her up and said, "Mom, let me take you out for lunch." She called me. She's like, "SandiSue, I'm so excited because my daughter wants to connect now." But we got rid of that dead energy. The dead past energy. And we only want things in the present that we love. That's, life force.
Loving where you're at in the space you're at.
Yes.
So important. Again, that whole enjoyment. If you're in a space where you're comfortable, you feel empowered, you feel you've got that sense of strength, it's really important.
It's extremely important because love is the highest vibration. So we really want to surround ourselves with nothing but love. And then we absorb that love and then we're able to share it with other people.
Oh, I love that.
And then we're more light and love.
Very good. So did you go to school or how did you?
Yeah. So first, I learned from my consultant. When I'm with anybody, I learn a lot from them. And so she had done my business and she had done my home. So I learned 2 different aspects of feng shui to begin with. And then the month later, after my business had doubled, my employees bought me, because it was my birthday, they bought me my first feng shui book. I was studying anytime I could because there was no feng shui schools here in Arizona. And there would be different speakers that would come and I would go to those different events and learn. But I ended up learning from California is where I ended up taking the classes and everything. But I mentioned earlier that I actually did it in past lives because I know things that I wasn't even taught. So it's very interesting.
Tell me more about that discovery, because I'm really fascinated about this spiritual journey, and you're on this cosmic arc, and this little lifetime is but a chapter in the book. Tell us more about your revelation in that area.
Well, all my life, I've always listened to spirit. I've always let God guide me every step of the way because I'm just human, right?
Right.
So I've always listened, and my guides are always telling me, And one of my guides, his name is Chi, and he sits there and he's doing this all the time. He's here with us now. I can't see him, but many of my clients are psychics and they can see them. But he's guiding us through it. And then with me doing it in past lives, that energy just comes in with me in this lifetime. And what's so funny is when I was a little girl, my mom used to always call me Miss Know-It-All. It's just because I brought that energy into this lifetime. So
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
Now our friend of the show is Jamie Clark.
Yes.
And he has a guide named Chi.
Yes.
Tell me about, is there a relationship that you have with that? You said you knew Jamie. And
yes,
tell us
Jamie
about
Clark
that.
and I, we go way back.
Shout out to Jamie Clark.
Yes,
bro.
we love Jamie Clark. He's the best. Well, in fact, he told me many, many years ago after I feng shuied his home and had a consultation with him, was that I'm actually lifting the consciousness of people by doing the feng shui.
Oh, cool.
And that makes sense because if we don't have all these poison arrows coming at us, and if we don't have things around us that are depleting us, and we're feeling good, of course we're lifting our consciousness up. So I was really relieved when he told me that, because that was a good insight that I didn't even know at the time. I knew people were happy, but I didn't realize I was really lifting the consciousness. So thanks, Jamie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely. Because when people feel just that freedom from, like you said, those poison darts that cloud our minds, or the mud, the water, you know, getting in those muddy areas, you just don't allow that to open up. So being in that space where you can just be more in tune with yourself, that's huge.
Definitely.
So now you also have a book that you've done.
Yes.
Share your book with us.
So it's Easy to Feng Shui. It's a simple guide to decorating with intention, because I'm all about intention. So when I come into a client's home, I'm wanting to know what their intentions are in all different aspects, and I help you to feng shui with that. So we have the bagua there. So that's the energetic blueprint. Yes. And so it tells you how to use that in the book. And it truly is easy to feng shui, because I made it very basic. So it's like kindergarten feng shui. So it's a good starter for sure.
This is great.
And there's just a little tiny booklet in there that you can pull out, and you can see how thin it is. So actually it's not confusing. It's right to the point.
Nice.
And then there's a whole bunch of cards in there, and each card goes to each different room. So for instance, there's a card in there for your kitchen. So you know what you need to do in the kitchen. One for your bedroom, one for your bathroom, living room. So all the different rooms. And then there's cards in there for every gua area. So you know what element to bring in there, what color to bring in there, and what shape to bring in there. So it's a really good foundation to get started with.
And that's all based on the bagua.
The bagua, yes, the energetic blueprint.
So there's like the front door. And so you put this at the front door?
Yes, at the front door is how you line it up. And that's for the Western feng shui. Now, people that do the compass, they would actually do that by the north. I don't do the compass because what I found, I know the compass, but I found here in Arizona, the Western feng shui seems to work the best for my clients.
Well, we are in the West, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I was born here, so.
So the kitchen is yang energy.
Yes, so yang, obviously active, and then yin for the bedroom. So you don't want to have a lot of yang energy in the bedroom, or it's hard to sleep.
I see that. So in the kitchen, you could have bright colors. You could have fresh flowers, a bowl of fruit.
Yes.
It says no photos of friends or family. So the refrigerator with all the pictures on it, not a good idea then.
And so many people do that, don't they?
Oh.
Yes.
That's like a go-to for people.
Exactly. And same within the bathroom. We don't want them in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh, no knives on the counter, store them in a cupboard or a drawer out of sight. So like if you have your cutlery in the wooden little thing, that's a bad.
Feng shui. Yes.
Really?
Because it's cutting into the energy field. Even though it's in there, it's still dangerous.
Yeah.
So our mind is always wanting to be in safety. And if we're seeing knives, it's putting us in the SNS.
Saying, I know what I'm doing first thing. Knives are going in the drawer.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll be right back. All right. Master bedroom.
Oh.
Yin energy.
Okay.
Earth tones.
Oh, I got that one down.
Yay.
Sensual, romantic images that relax and inspire you.
That's right.
Only photos of the people who sleep in the room.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I had one client. She had all of her family members.
Her mom
on
and
the
dad.
walls.
Oh, no,
there must have
thank
been
you.
30 people in
Aunt
there.
Esther.
Yes, and all she wanted was to get married. I'm like, you're not going to pull in a man with all these people looking at you.
No.
So she got rid of everything, and within 2 months, she found the man that she married.
Oh.
Is still married to today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. No water or pictures of water scenes.
Yes, because
No,
water is
that's-
very emotional. Because if you think of tears, and relationships are challenging because, you know, we're all different. So we don't want to bring in more emotions, and it can make it out of balance.
No live plants. Use silk.
Yes,
Okay.
because when a plant moves, even if it's just a little millimeter, there's a vibration then it comes over to you, and then you turn in bed, and then you turn in bed, and it affects you because you feel it. You don't know that you're feeling it, but you do feel it.
Add passion with accents of red or pink.
Oh, see, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, just a little.
This one is a matter of functionality in the space where we are with our 20-something-year-old kids that are roommates. And so we've moved a computer in there to do some stuff, but it says no computers or exercise equipment in the bedroom.
Yes, because that would be a workout for one thing. We don't want that for the relationship. And then the EMFs that are coming off of the computer and the phone and everything, that affects us negatively, especially if you have a metal bed. Because a metal is a conductor for electricity. So all my clients that call me because they have cancer or something else similar to that, 9 times out of 10, they have a metal bed. And it's because it's picking up all the electricity from the walls and our phones, and if they have the computer in there, which usually people have their laptop in there. Not good.
I'm going to have to, because I usually leave mine in there just overnight for no purpose, but I'm going to not do that. Like at least get some of it out.
Exactly. Or at least cover it if you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So in the living room, that's where you can have your family photos, plants and flowers. You can have reclining furniture. That's okay then.
Yes, because you want to relax.
That's good. In the laundry room, make sure it's well lit. There's some fun artwork. No leaky hoses. I mean, that's a matter of practicality and feng shui.
Yes, because if anything's leaking, especially water, then your money's going away.
Yeah, literally. Keep your washing machine and your dryer doors closed, and then keep the laundry room door closed. Those are interesting things. So there are very pragmatic, very practical things in here, as well as energetic things. It's just all kind of flows.
Yeah. So it's a good starter.
Easy to feng shui.
Yes.
This is awesome. What a great resource.
Thank you.
People can get this on your website?
They can get it on my website, and then you can get it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble as well.
While we're present here, give presents to your website.
Yes, it's happyenergycoach.com.
Happy Energy Coach. Yes. I love it. This is awesome. So consciousness is always moving forward, and feng shui is an ancient art, or practice. But there's this cyclical thing where things that were old once again become new. And it's becoming more and more apparent in consciousness to be aware of energy, to be aware of feng shui. So it's very timely that you're in this space in 2019 versus 1990 or whatever, because consciousness is moving forward.
Right.
Give presence to the work that you're doing, the people that you meet, letting go of limiting belief systems and adapting forward thinking.
Well, I know all my clients that I've been working with for several years, they've noticed a huge shift in their energy by doing the feng shui. It's because they're feeling better. And of course, like you said, it's going forward, the energy, but it's also lifting up.
Yes.
And they've noticed a huge difference by having the feng shui consultation for sure.
So people call you, they get a hold of you. You have this wonderful intake form. How do you feel about this thing? And then you put a number 0 to 10.
Yes.
How would it make you feel if it were a 10? And then you say, this is how it would make me feel. One thing on there was your family. I was like, all right. So Gail and I are in a situation where we're helping kids go into college, doing life. And we are so excited for them to continue their own journeys.
Yes.
And so you're like, how does your family feel? Well, I love my kids, but as they are continuing to get older, kind of right now I feel like it's a 6. And you go, how would it feel to be a 10? I'm like, if they were happy and healthy with their own space, having their own journeys, that would feel really great to me. So you come in the house, over on the side of the house, we have a decorative giraffe.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I know what that is. Explain what that is.
So everything symbolizes something. And a giraffe, because they have a long neck, means that you're sticking your neck out. A little too far for that. So we moved it right away, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. As soon as you said, your kids aren't going to want to leave because you're sticking your neck out for them. We're, okay, well, let's go move that
I
giraffe.
have it made. I'll move in with you guys.
I love it. I love it.
So it's very important to look at everything and ask yourself, what does this symbolize? And since we know the giraffe has a long neck, we know what that symbolizes.
So apparently there must be a book of all the different animals and?
I just Google it. I just tell my clients,
Okay.
Google it.
Mm.
Google what it means. The
Okay.
spiritual meaning for whatever that is.
But it's spiritual meaning, not necessarily feng shui, just
Right. I would just do
what it
spiritual
is.
meaning and see what that is.
Okay. And then, but it's important to understand the area that it's in.
Exactly.
So, because then you're like, well, what do you want to stick your neck out for?
Exactly.
And so we're like, oh, well, that goes right here.
Exactly.
So that was really good.
Yeah. So we're really decorating and feng shuiing with intention of what things mean and where they need to go in the proper place.
Okay.
Now, you even gave presents to the year we were born and the animal that we're associated with.
Yes.
You said, I'm associated with the rooster.
Which is perfect for your job.
Yeah.
You guys talk the most, which is great.
And you said Gail was or her year was the monkey.
The monkey all over the place. She can multitask like no. I mean, look what she pulled off last night.
Absolutely.
Getting all this decorations. She did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got that energy where she's able to do many things. I'm kind of just focused on the one thing and continue to get it done.
Right.
Yeah, I had to bring him home because he was tanking. He just couldn't do
It's
anymore.
too much. Yeah, it's just too much.
Many things. Too many things to do.
I call it mall exhaustion syndrome. Anytime we're in shopping, it's just he walks in and it's just his energy goes.
Yes, the mall exhaustion syndrome. Yes.
Yes.
Now your energy.
That's bad feng shui.
It is. Your energy was the horse, you said?
The horse. I'm the fire horse. Yes. So I'm full of a lot of energy for sure because I'm just going
Now,
fast.
why do you say fire horse?
So we have 5 different elements, right? And then every year, so I'm the mountain earth, but I was born the year of the fire horse. So because there's different schools.
Okay.
And so the fire energy just comes in knowing more than most people. And that's why my mom always called me Miss Know-It-All. But we have different aspects. So I was born the month of the pig. So I have fire energy, pig energy, which is all about the fun. And then I was born the time of the dragon. So very magical, mystical type of energy too. And we have all those different aspects. You know how we have the moon for Western, right? We have all these different aspects. Same with feng shui, we have different aspects.
Okay, so the monkey for me was the year I was born?
Yes, the year you were born.
Okay, so how is water determined?
Water is determined by your year, but that's a different school than the Chinese astrology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't even pull up the year you were born for monkey as far as what element for that Chinese New Year. I just looked at what animal you are.
Okay.
Based on, because there's 2 different schools that I used for that.
You know, that is so interesting. We've learned through things that, Journey of Souls and other material, how we have come here for our human experience. And we picked out our birthday. We picked out when we were going to be born in the family. We're going to be in a bunch of stuff that we're like, what? This information that we chose this life path. And isn't it interesting how when you read something in astrology or something through Chinese medicine or whatever that philosophical thing is, how it just resonates. You're like, yeah, that's literally me. Then you can read someone else's and go, no, I don't vibe with that. But they're like, no, that's me. You really see how your soul came to have these experiences and you picked the time and it resonates with you.
Exactly. Because the time, the day, all those things are different vibrations. And different animals and different elements. There's just a lot going on.
It's like on and on. It's like it's deeper and the layers are more abundant.
And knowledge is power. And using ancient wisdom, I think, is the key. Because when you understand energy, you can change your life completely.
Oh, so good.
So how do you feel that the ancient wisdom is being transformed into what we need today? Like, what is it, like the kids that are growing up, where consciousness is going? How do you feel that that is helping to form like this new age that we're going into?
So how feng shui is going to help with that? It's going to help bring more harmony because we're in the information age, right? So there's so many things coming at us on all different levels that the more we feng shui and we feel that harmony and balance, we're able to handle all these outside forces that are happening to us with social media, just all those different things. And that's what people are seeking, is more balance. And that's why people are looking for these ancient wisdoms, because they know the past couple hundred years here in the United States, things aren't going the way that they wanted it to. So they're looking for the older wisdom.
Okay.
It's really good. It's about finding that flow. And that's, I am so excited about just that forward consciousness. You know, I came from the religious mindset, a fear-based construct of you got one life, you got to get it right. And then, you know, there's some judgment of either good or bad, rewards or punishment, whatever happens. And as you begin to continue to dive into consciousness, read about other experiences, you realize you're here for the flow. And what I really like about your work is you're helping people find the flow. As you had said, you're raising consciousness. It's so important to do that. When people come and contact you, they're changing their lives. You're giving them information that leads to transformation.
Exactly.
You're showing them how to have more peace, how to have more harmony. And who doesn't want to have an even better life than they've already got?
Exactly. I'm all about helping people create their heaven on earth now.
Yeah.
Why do we need to wait for it later? We need it now. And the more we create it now, then other people are having the permission to create it for themselves. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah. What were some of the things that you were experiencing prior to your introduction to Feng Shui? What were the things that were just normal to you that you were involved in that were giving you draws on that energy?
Well, with being in the healing arts since, 1992 professionally, the massage industry really taught me a lot about energy, because they told me in school that when you're touching somebody, all of a sudden you'll feel a pain somewhere in your body. I didn't believe them, but sure enough, that's what happened. So I learned a lot about energy as a massage therapist. And then I got into yoga and was a yoga teacher. So I learned a lot about the yin and the yang energy there. So I know that those two things actually was a good foundation before the Feng Shui, because I was having things happen to me that I thought was unusual, you know, because all of a sudden I'd be massaging somebody and I'd have that pain. I'd be like, so Gail, is your lower back been hurting you?
Yeah, right.
And sure enough. And so, you know, that's the unseen energy that no one's really explained to us. And then when Feng Shui came along and it was all about the art and science of what's going on around us, then that made sense to me, because I need to have things proven to me. And it definitely did prove things to me. I'm open and receptive, definitely, but I like to make sure that there's proof.
So you have had that personal journey through yoga. Gail and I did yoga teacher training in 2018. It was part of our personal development and understanding that. And then you've gotten into the Chinese medicine, the meridians, the energy flow, because you did body work. You're really putting this whole thing together.
Exactly. Because everything is one, right? So that's what the Tao is. It's one, then that breaks off to the yin and the yang, duality, and then it breaks off to the 5 elements. So the more we keep doing everything to bring us back to the one, making us feel good, then we're feeling that harmony and balance within ourselves.
That's good.
Wow, that is so good. Being at one with the one.
Exactly.
So what's this whole thing about? What are we doing here? What's this whole human experience? Give us your perception on what it is that this whole thing is about.
I believe we're all on our own hero's journey. And
Joseph Campbell,
and if we stay on that journey and only seek things that are making us feel good and decorating with things that make us feel good, then we're going to feel good. To me, that's it.
There's negative vibrations that people get trapped into, and those limiting beliefs, the guilt, the shame, the things about, oh, I can't do this thing. Give presence to the desire of the heart that wants to have whatever it is, a furniture, a color scheme, a relationship. What are those things that people find in their own personal space where they don't feel like they can change it? What are some things they can do to find their power back?
Asking themselves how this makes me feel. That's the key. Everything is, how does this make me feel? How does this person make me feel? How does this location make me feel? Even the time of day, because every 2 hours is a different meridian. So we're dealing with a different element every 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And so, for instance, back to our personal elements again, during the fire time of the day might be a little bit more depleting for you because you're water.
Which is what time of the day?
Well, there's different times.
Oh, okay.
So for instance, fire is actually going on right now from 11 to 1 o'clock. That's the heart meridian.
Okay.
It's all about fire and joy. Okay. But that could evaporate your energy. But if you're feeling a little frozen in life, because water could be frozen, right? Then it actually might be very beneficial for you. It depends on what's going on. So that's why I ask my clients all these different questions, because everything that you're saying is speaking to me for a different element. And then I know if you're feeling stuck like mud, or if you're frozen like, water, and if you're needing more fire element to really melt it and soften that energy.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot to think about.
There's a lot going on.
I'm kind of feeling a little overwhelmed right now.
That's why you have me,
I'm going to go back to I like your basic book.
Start with the basics, and then when you're ready to really expand your life.
Yeah. How do you coach people? How does your business structure work?
Yeah, so I help people all over the world. So I work with Zoom all the time so that we have the video going on. And then people also send me pictures and their floor plan. But if they're local, of course,
and people text you when they're in the furniture store.
Yeah, yes, they do.
Lots of pictures.
Yeah, I get lots of pictures, that's for sure. And so when they're in the valley, then I'll go to their home, or I'll just do it over the internet with them. So usually it's 2 hours is usually the first time that we meet, because I give so much information. There's pages and pages of information that I give you.
Yeah.
And then we follow up later when you're ready, because it's a process. And we just did this room, right? And that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Think about doing your whole home, how much, of a process that is.
Yeah.
Well, and then I just know that we'll be calling you whether it's renting or buying, we'll be calling you.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that I'm like, I could definitely feel a difference with. So,
and that's even being connected into your intuition, because we've been in those experiences where we've walked into a space and went, this doesn't work, or ooh, this feels really good.
Yeah, you can tell if you're conscious, obviously, right? But still, even being conscious, we still have those unconscious patterns that are guiding our lives. And to have a professional help you with what your intentions are, because a lot of times people will hire me because they want more money. That's the number one. Second is because of love. Third is always health. Okay, health should be first, really. But you would think. But what happens, especially with people with love, is that they want a relationship, but the truth is they're scared, because the last relationship or the relationship before that, who knows how many times they had bad luck. So our body-mind system is always protecting us. So they'll actually do things to stop the flow of a relationship energy coming in. So they're telling me that they want that. They're telling themselves that they want a relationship, and they're telling their friends, but unconsciously they're stopping it because they don't want to be hurt again. And so that's when I'll come into a space and I'll see exactly what's blocking it. But they can't see it because it's unconscious. And that is the key. The key to helping make a difference.
It's kind of that self-saboteur.
Yes. But then to find out too, well, what would make the client feel comfortable in their relationship, to feel safe? Well, they already know what they don't want in a relationship, right? So I make sure that they don't have those things in the environment to cause that. Because I've had lots of clients that in a relationship, they would pull in a third relationship. Third person rather, into a relationship. Well, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I'll go into that area of their home and there's 3 of something going on. It's amazing. So we make those changes right away, and then they'll see the relationship. It changes. It completely changes.
Wow.
Interesting. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So there's a lot of flow. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of, people don't even know. They're unconscious, you said, about what's going on. So if you are in a situation where you're feeling stuck, you're feeling unsure, you're feeling not creative, all you do is to reach out to SandiSue.
Exactly. Yeah. My name means helper of mankind.
Oh, it's great.
And that's all I want to do is help people to feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because when you feel good, you feel
feel
God.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Isn't it great?
It's so
I
good.
love it.
Awesome. Is there anything else to give presents to? Once again, tell us about your website. Give us.
So my website is happyenergycoach.com. So I do the feng shui. I also do internal feng shui work as well. It's called resonance repatterning. And I use applied kinesiology. And for those that don't know what that is, it's muscle checking. So I do this over the phone. So no matter where you live in the world. And it's all about accessing your energy field, your higher self. And that's what guides us through the process. There's 150 different repatternings, and your energy knows exactly which repatterning you need to have a quantum change. And I've been doing that. That came in my life a year after feng shui. And it's the internal feng shui. And I was having panic attacks after my parents died. I had one session, no more panic attacks. So I learned the process, and it's like 10 years worth of therapy in 1 hour, because your system, your higher self, is what's guiding us. So if anyone's having any type of struggle for anything, or they want to resonate with an intention, that's another thing that I can help them with as well.
Awesome. Well, we always like to end our episodes with the guest saying, if there's one thing that you took away from what I brought to the show today, it's this thing. So what is that thing that you would want people to take away?
It's to make sure that everything in their environment feels good.
That's awesome.
An 8 or above.
Exactly.
8 or above.
And get rid of it if it's not.
Awesome.
Like I said, a 7 on a picture. She's like, eh. I'm like, oh, wow. Didn't know where that was going.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh,
we have so enjoyed today's conversation.
Yay. Thank you for having me. And happy feng shui.
Awesome. Thank you.